Hello, and welcome to the first episode of the PossAbilities podcast. This is the digital support assistant of PossAbilities, Charlie here. Hello, good to see you. And today, I'm delighted to be joined by Elaine Stott from Link for Life. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, not bad considering the conditions, but we'll go from there. So, first of all, thank you for joining me today. Just a few little simple things. The idea behind this is to make sure that people know the support that they can be provided with, both within the business and with help from the business from outside purveyors such as yourself. So first of all, who are you? What do you do in a short sort of way?
Okay, so Link for Life is obviously a charity working in Rochdale, Middleton, Pennines and Heywood. And the aim of all of our work is to help people live more active, creative and healthy lives. And we do that through the management of the leisure facilities across the borough, and through the arts and heritage centres like Middleton Arena and Touchstones and Civic. And also in the area that I predominantly work in is delivering targeted community programmes as well out in the community in more targeted areas. So that's kind of an overview of us and what I do.
Okay, so it's a charity run business.
We are indeed. We are a charity. Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. So you mentioned that you're quite a large business.
Yes.
And you know, we mentioned away from the actual recording how big you actually are. Could you sort of explain that before we go into what?
Yeah, of course I can. So Link for Life, people probably normally just think about the leisure centres. So the 4 leisure centres that we have across the borough, they think that's us and that's what we do, and we do that. So obviously within the leisure centres, we run lots and lots of different programmes. We've got the gym, dance studios, we've got the pools, and then as I say, we've also got the Civic, and we've got Middleton Arena and Touchstones for the cultural side of things. And then within our CHAPS team, which is where I work, which is part of the community outreach team, we do the cultural stuff on there as well. We've also got, I work predominantly with older adults, work with a lot with people who've had dementia or people who've got long-term conditions or disabilities. We've got a section who work with short breaks and younger children who've got learning disabilities or mild to moderate disabilities. We've got an exercise referral programme. We've got a healthy lifestyles team who work on nutrition information. We've got Activate Me, which is our community-based low-cost pay-as-you-go programme. And we've got a training and volunteering team who offer free training courses, and they can get people into lifeguarding or gyms. We also run the Fit and Fed, which is the free school holiday provision for children, and we also help with cared for children and care leavers to get free memberships at the gyms, etc. So cover quite a lot of stuff.
Yes, it certainly seems that way, yeah. So obviously due to the current climate, you've had to adapt. What I sort of want to ask you is the vulnerable adult side of things. So we did mention in the past that obviously due to current circumstances and coronavirus, you've had to adapt and move things around to make sure that it's a lot less face to face due to the whole situation. So how have you tackled that?
So there's a couple of different ways it was tackled. So obviously when we could handle social distancing, within the centres when the centres were open. That was fantastic. Everything was put in place. The centres were really, really safe. There was touch points were altered, and hand sanitizer was in, social distancing was in place, and masks, etc. As the centres have shut down, we've had to obviously move everything into this new virtual world. So we've managed to pop a lot of our stuff up online. The website is absolutely full of stuff online. We've got a whole Link for Life at Home section on the website for staying healthy at home, staying creative at home, and staying active at home. So there's plenty of information on the website for people to get to. We've also moved I Teach now online 5 days a week. So we've moved
so home learning.
Yeah, so we've moved our chair-based exercise programs and some beginners yoga programs. We've moved those online. We've moved our volunteering and training programs online, so people can still access not the vast amount of stuff that we've always been able to do, but a lot of the stuff we've tried to get it online as quickly as we can. And we've been working quite well with HMR Circle and the Digitech Library and helping to get older people online, because we know that's where there's a big gap with those vulnerable adults.
Like it has thrown a lot of spanners in the works, the fact that everything has had to be put on online, but people have found another way to sort of figure it all out, fingers crossed.
Hopefully.
And by the time we all figure it all out, we'll hopefully be away from all this. So that was sort of my next question. So pre-COVID, what was the sort of things you were providing? Because you did mention that your centres opened during a small time with social distancing and masks and everything else, to make sure that the centres were safe. So obviously, some of the services that you provide are face-to-face pre-COVID, obviously. So what were those sort of areas of support that you were providing pre-COVID that you could maybe, fingers crossed, bring back eventually?
We were aiming sort of like on my terms of work. So I work obviously with a lot of vulnerable older adults. I work with a lot of people who've got disabilities. We have a lot of older adults who've got dementia. So what we offered pre-COVID, so we had 27 weekly classes running across the borough for that age group. That was just on my project as well, just the projects I work on. So that was gentle exercise programs where some exercises were seated, some were standing, and everyone worked at their own ability. Carers were more than happy to be in the session, helping somebody out if it was needed. And then the great bit about it is we had a social at the end of it. We had a cup of tea and we had a bit of a chat at the end. And that's a sad part that we've had to unfortunately not be able to do as we move into the COVID area.
That makes somebody's, this is what I was sort of saying to somebody the other day, like a chat can make somebody's day.
Oh, definitely.
Like, I think it can completely change somebody's mood.
Yeah, and we've been beforehand, obviously, with everything that we've done. We had our tea and coffee, and that was fantastic. I know, like with the Activate Me programs, they became really good because we've always run group classes. The groups have really formed friendships within the classes as well. So they've got new gym buddies almost who they've got down at the class. They've now got a gym buddy. And the ability as well, I think, because the breadth of what we offer could include anybody, then there was always somewhere that we could fit somebody into a class that they would feel comfortable, and they'd feel like it was a class that was for them and someone else in the class was like them almost. And then the chat at the end, you make someone's day with that bit of a chat about how they are, how they're doing. They can ask you a question. So like I say, before COVID, our project alone was at 27. I know Activate Me was running 50 plus classes out in community.
Wow.
Yeah, I know the training programs we're delivering, sort of training programs every sort of 12 weeks, getting people through on our training programs. We were really busy, and fingers crossed we get back to that as soon as we can.
Fingers crossed. And I did notice while you were mentioning all the sort of stuff that you were doing, or what you did do and what you are doing now, that you are catering to all needs. Like you mentioned chair exercises, for example. That's something that here at PossAbilities we do quite a lot with our service users, to get them active and moving to the best of their ability. I
think it's really important. It's always been a real focus of the charity of Link for Life to try our best to cater for everyone. And I do think it's always entertaining with a chair-based session, because people don't realise actually how much work that is.
Yeah. I think I did one, and I run miles, but I did one, and I'm like,
They don't realise. And we did have an instructor, like pre-lockdown. We have an instructor who also teaches paradance.
Wheelchair dance classes.
Wheelchair dance. Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Yeah.
And it's just we've tried as a charity the hardest to work, like I say, with as many people as we possibly can, and make sure that there's something for everybody. With our disability program as well, that's in place, and hopefully, fingers crossed, when we're allowed to open and can open in a proper way again, we can get everything back in place as soon as possible.
Yeah, I think you will. Like we said before, the social aspect of it, I think, is the most important part of it, really. Even though most of, like, take the chair exercises, for example, or the wheelchair dance classes, the exercises do well, but it's the social aspect of it behind it that
100%.
That does everybody good.
And I always say, if we're setting up a new class, what we did prior to COVID is we ran like a 10-week free course with our program. So for 10 weeks it was free, and we got people used to how we did it. And it's like, this is what the exercise is, gave people the alternatives to the exercises. So you're going to do this exercise, but you might do it sat in a chair, you might do it stood up holding onto a chair, you might do it stood up freely. Gave them all of those options, and then after 10 weeks they were comfortable, they'd got to know the group, they'd all had the cup of tea together, they all knew, and then it's much easier to keep people in that habit then of doing that, because as you say, that social aspect of it, of them knowing everybody, being able to chat and feel like they're bonded, is so important.
It's routine as well. It's routine for them. Like that's one thing that I've noticed working with PossAbilities is they like a routine. The service users like a routine. Anybody likes a routine. It just makes
anybody.
Yeah. Unless it involves getting up at 5 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, I don't like that routine. I think some of ours as well, I was laughing with some of our older adults who are quite vulnerable, who are maybe a little bit more socially isolated.
Yeah.
For those as well, coming down, that was the day they were speaking to their other friends. So they had friends they spoke to at exercise class that they only saw once a week. So there was so much they had to catch up on.
Because it's an entire week, and
an entire week of stuff they need to talk about.
Things have happened. Yeah. So what I've sort of gathered is it's you have the mindset that it's important for people not to lose those social skills.
Definitely. Obviously, we are a leisure trust, a leisure
Yes,
charity, so the being active part has to be included within what we do. But we
absolutely.
are very, very much the social aspect of it is, I always say to my group, the reason we do the exercise class before the brew is because if we just had the brew, you wouldn't do the exercise.
Yes, yes. It's like
So
dangling a carrot in front of a horse before a horse rides.
So we understand how important those social aspects are. And we understand obviously how important being active is for everybody. No matter what your condition, a disability, or your mindset is, it's really, really important for everyone to be active as well. And if you can combine those two things together, to me, that's like a perfect session.
I think that's pretty special, because I think that that there's certain organisations that don't take that second part of it into effect. They just think,
Definitely.
right, okay, we're a leisure organisation, we're here to do exercise, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a way, that is what I've worked for Link for Life for 25 years. So
Right.
very good. I like it. And I do think that has been an ethos of the charity all the way through, that's our unique selling point almost, that we do want to cater for the whole person.
Yeah. So you didn't want to be typical of a leisure organisation, and bring in other aspects of life, really.
That's it, definitely.
Into it. Yeah, that's 70 classes.
And that's just our projects. That's not including the classes we have at the centre that are going every week. That's just the external projects that we run. I dread to think if I added up all of the projects and all the sessions that Link for Life ran over a week pre-lockdown, you'd be 150 to 200 different sessions and classes.
Wow.
Easily.
Wow. That's unbelievable. Yeah.
So, as I say, if someone can't fit into something we offer, then to be truthful, we'll look at how we can get something that will fit someone.
Yeah. Find ways around it. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, covered a lot there. Covered a lot
We've covered quite a bit.
So, in closing, we know that this situation that we're in now isn't going to last forever. We know that. We've got to think positive about the whole thing, because things will get back to normal. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and everybody, we're getting to the point where there is.
Yeah, definitely.
So the next question really is, where are you going from now? I mean, with the future, what are your plans within the next, say, year and a half, 2 years?
I know from obviously conversations, and we're updated all the time on how the charity is doing. The words that are told to us and that are put is, we are going to build back better. So we are aiming to come back even stronger than we were before. I know from personal experience during this time, we've had the people I work with, we've had time to sit and think about how we come back even stronger, how we provide even better sessions, how we provide even more of a whole person approach moving forward. How do we get over all the hurdles that may be coming up of people not feeling quite safe, etc., and it taking a while for that to settle in. So we're looking at how we provide an online provision at the side of a face-to-face provision, and
just
how
in
we
case as a backup.
Yeah, how we can cater to the most amount of people and give the most amount of people almost like a bespoke service.
Yeah.
And that's what the charity is looking to do, to offer people within the borough, whoever they are and whatever they do, whatever they want, within reason.
So you've started making moves and trying to think positively and look into the future. Yeah, that's what we have to do at the moment, you know.
Definitely.
Absolutely, and it looks like, and I've mentioned this to people before, if there's one thing that this situation has given people, it's given people time to think.
Definitely.
Make things better than they were pre all this.
Yeah.
And something like you've mentioned before with the plans that you have in place, once things do get up and running again, you know, you've had enough time to sit there and think about what's going on, that when things do come back around, it will be 10 times better than what it was before. That's
our plan.
Yeah.
That's our plan.
Certainly, and it certainly sounds like you're enthusiastic about the
it's exciting to think that you could bring something back so much better than it was before. Yeah, and it sounds like you've got yourself a jolly good plan to go with that as well. Yeah. So, in closing, where can people find you? So the best place to start is the Link for Life website. That's the absolute. So just if you look up Link for Life, the number 4, that's the best place to start. All of the information is on there. We are on Facebook as well, and Twitter. So they can look up Link for Life, and there's updates go up on there all the time. That's the best place really for all of the contact details for any of the projects that we run are all on there. And if you have a look through those, you can pick up the details for everybody and all of the projects on the website. And if you wanted to look at the at-home stuff, if you just type Link for Life at home in your search engine, that'll bring up all of the home-based stuff that we've got going on and stuff that people can do now. And then look around the website at what we're coming back with, and it's updated all the time.
I think it's brilliant how you've dedicated a section of the website to the current situation and giving people things to do away from to basically taking the mind off what's going on here at the moment.
Yeah, I think that's something that's really, really important.
Absolutely.
And that people as well are still engaged with us, and we're keeping that engagement in place because they've got I do some of the videos as an instructor on the website. They've used our staff, so people are still seeing familiar faces.
And I think that's important as well, seeing a familiar face. Definitely, I think the fact, absolutely.
There's a lot of joy and a lot of, I don't know, with seeing the person who's taught you in my case, every night for the last 25 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's got to be a good thing. They might be fed up of seeing me, but I keep putting myself out there.
Yeah. So it sounds like you've got a solid plan for both now and later on when things start opening up again.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'd like to sort of thank you for coming on, actually, to start with, because
thank you for asking.
It's no problem. It's no problem. And to our listeners, thank you for actually listening to this PossAbilities podcast. It's actually been quite fun, actually. Wanting to know and getting to know what Link for Life actually do, because we've actually delved completely into the vault there with everything that they sort of do. So thank you for listening. Thank you to Elaine for coming onto the podcast, and we'll see you in the next one. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.